Say you get a surf shack on Airbnb. Now you can also get a surf lesson with a pro surfer. Or if you get a place in Mexico City, you can also get a taco tasting with a food critic. Homes, experiences, and services. Now you can Airbnb more than an Airbnb.
Ciao. Hi, everybody. Sorry to keep you waiting. My name is Antonia Strasser, captain of Prisma and Space Mafia, VTuber. What's up, Kenna? Hi, everybody. Today is August 16th, 2026. And I want to. What's up, Kose? I want to give you guys a fair warning. We are going into this some semi unmedicated today. I have to wait till Monday to get my stimulants. Um, so there's that. So if today seems more ADHD riddled, um, uh, than usual, uh, that is why. That is why. So apologies. Um, just wanted to say that right off the bat, in case anybody's like, he seems different today. That's why. Love you guys too. I also have a new roommate, so I'm trying to keep it somewhat quiet today, so that I have a good first impression. Um, so yeah, I a little quiet stream. So gaming with friends right now. Oh, what you playing? I figured we would just get into Ace Attorney because my brain is not working. Um, so yeah, ASMR stream. Sure, sure. I'm currently caffeine maxing because that tends to help whenever I don't have my stimmies. Um, so let's just get right into it, Billy D style. Let's just jump right into it. Sup, you beautiful bastards. I don't think he says that anymore. Sup, you beautiful bastards. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco show. Um, huh? Oh, I'm not plugged in. Why isn't it starting? We're finishing the first case of final game today. Kind of emotional about it. Not gonna lie. If my shit will start up, then we can just start over. No, then we'll find a different game. All right. Don't need a death counter. Oh boy, I think we were almost close to being done with this game, or this trial. Roblox horror games. Oh lord. I think I'm just gonna do what I usually do whenever I'm in the middle of a cross-examination and just look up the walk. My memory is a little fuzzy. want to be here, but I rarely play with them, so I'm here. Trial Part 2, I think. Point is, if you poison someone, there'd be no reason to then go and stab that person as well. What is this one? Yes. Oh, this is the last one. Okay, so we're almost done. Press statement 3. Press the new statement. Present the updated poison article on statement 2 or 5. This one?
Objection!
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, yeah, we're like 10 minutes away from finishing this part. I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't just finish it last stream, but it's fine. We'll just jump into the second case. All right. Well, I can think of one reason. What? Before I explain, I'd like you to confirm something for the... Did you glean all the information for this newspaper article from what you overheard outside the hut? Of course you did. There could be no question of that. After all, when we were in the laboratory together, all we were told is that it was a terrible toxin. And there is one more important fact to consider. According to the witness, Membami-san's verbal attack against the victim began as soon as she entered the hut. In other words, it would have been impossible for her to have slipped the poison into Miss Brett's drink. Where are you going with this, counsel? Minamimo-san has made it quite clear that he observed every single thing that happened in the beach hut. And then if the defendant had somehow found an opportunity, this man would have seen it. Yeah. Which means that Miss Brett couldn't have imbibed the poison whilst the defendant was present. In fact, it must have been administered to her before Membami-san entered the hut. Yes, very articulate. We good? I don't know what just happened. We just randomly cut out. Everybody good? Everybody good? Alright, let's keep going. At which point, Minamimo-san overheard some worrying information. Worrying information? What worrying information? Information which he subsequently included in his newspaper article, namely, that the poison was being developed in strict secrecy, and that it couldn't be readily obtained. Absolutely. In fact, that's quite an understatement. The only possible place it could come from is my lab. And furthermore, anyone afflicted by the poison would exhibit telltale signs in death. The extreme constriction of the pupils. Yes, it's quite stark when you see it. There are other poisons that show similar symptoms, but not among new substances that are undetectable. In other words, it would be clear that the victim's life had been ended by the use of this particular poison, which would reduce the number of suspects to only a handful of people. Oh. Everyone in my laboratory is aware of the unique properties of the toxin we've been developing. none of them would be foolish enough to attempt to use it for some nefarious deed. Mbami-san being no exception. Therefore, we can conclude that whoever administered this unique poison to the victim was a layperson unaware of its telltale properties. In other words, someone like you, writing Minamimo. Yeah. It was you who stole the poison from the laboratory that day. It was you who administered it to the unwitting victim. But you quickly realized that was a terrible mistake, because the poison caused such unusual symptoms and was so traceable. As you listened in from the far side of the beach hut's thin walls, you learned of these facts. But you'd already given the victim the poison at that point. It was too late. So you hatched a plan to disguise your mistake. A plan that involved stabbing the victim in the back through the reed screen. But what good could that possibly do? Isn't it obvious, Counsel? The plan was to kill Miss Brett before the poison could take effect. Once in the blood, the poison causes the onset of pupil constriction. But he had hoped to precipitate the victim's death before that happened, hadn't he? Exactly. Because without any revealing signs of the new secret poison's use, no one would have ever suspected. This is extraordinary. Yes, the effects of the poison meant it would be too easily identified, so the killer had to mask its use, which he attempted to do by plunging a knife into the middle of the victim's back. It's over, bro. Order, order, order! The argument presented is sound. The court is satisfied that it warrants consideration. Does the prosecution have a counter-argument it wishes to put forward? Well, there are a number of... yes, I counter completely. Objection! The prosecution's evasive response clearly shows that in much the same way as he nurtures the remnants of his top knot, he is clinging to lost hope. Lost hope? You pathetic, useless, fallen samurai. Why the fuck we keep cutting out? What the fuck? Yes, you make it all sound so plausible, don't you? But without evidence, it means nothing. Whereas I base my news on facts. Facts? What do you mean? Explain yourself. I mean, what the professor said earlier in this trial. It's all here in my many memos. My memos. Every word, every slip of the tongue, all noted. That's what the Show You News is famous for. It's the power of the printed word. But surely it would be no easy task to steal a highly secret toxin being developed for the government. Indeed, all visitors to the laboratory are thoroughly searched when they leave. Even if a thief managed to avoid being seen by myself or a colleague, getting the poison out would be very difficult. How's that then? Blown the story wide open? See, I write in Mina Mimo. A mere reporter from the Show You News. Couldn't possibly have stolen that poison from the professor's laboratory. What do you mean? Yes, you could. You were there. There can't be any question of it. He must have stolen that poison that day. He stole it, and he used it to kill. If that's the case, as you've identified, the poison itself is the definitive evidence we need. So whoever stole it from the laboratory that day is the true culprit. I bet we're gonna use the pen. What's your point, you annoyingly handsome country bumpkin? My point is this. There's one way that you, Minamimo-san, could have stolen the poison that day. Hmm? I've heard enough verbal conjecture now, thank you. The court must be shown as evidence. What proof do you have that this witness stole the poison on the day in question, the pen?
Take that!
The proof, Your Excellency, is this fountain pen. A fountain pen? How can that possibly be relevant? This magical pen somehow seemed to have enough ink to write many thousands of kanji characters. I believe they arrived in our country for the first time some 15 years ago now. I swear by a weasel-haired calligraphy brush and nothing else. These newfangled pens are merely a fad.
Well, as a forward-thinking man of words, obviously I love my fountain pen. Suck up a soup can of sumptuous ink, and one's work is awash with words in the blink of an eye.
That's right. Fountain pens have a small reservoir in the barrel, into which ink is sucked up through the nib of the pen in order to write with later.
What is all this talking of sucking up ink have?
And just as it's possible to suck ink into the reservoir, it's also possible to eject it through the nib again, of course.
My word, could this really be?
Well, Minamino-san? When you saw the deadly poison before your eyes in the laboratory that day, you used your fountain pen, your very lifeblood, to steal some of it, didn't you? By siphoning the poison up through the nib and into the pen's reservoir.
Yeah.
Objection!
Damn, I was right.
More absurdity had never happened.
True, we've heard that there were procedures in place to prevent thefts like this from the laboratory. But would anyone have thought to look inside a fountain pen of all places? No, I'm a little ashamed to say that for fear of offending our guests, such a detailed search would not have been conducted.
Well, this is quite startling, I must say.
I remind the court that this pen was found in the clutches of the victim when she died. In other words, it was dropped at the scene by Minamino-san. So the crucial question is, when exactly was the pen dropped?
Are you suggesting?
The natural conclusion is that in your haste to act whilst the victim was distracted for a moment, you dropped the pen after you emptied the poison from it into her glass.
There could be any number of alternative explanations. For example, the witness could have been using his pen to write down details of his conversation with the victim. And when shocked by one of her outrageous answers, the pen fell from his quivering hand.
Objection!
No, that can't be. If it was, how do you explain why the pen was devoid of ink?
What?
As you can see for yourself if you examine the evidence, there would appear to be no ink present in the reservoir. What newspaper reporter goes to interview someone with nothing in his pen? No, the pen was dropped after the poison that filled its reservoir had been emptied into the victim's glass.
Witness, what do you have to say in your defense?
It's over.
So this is how our modern justice system works, is it? So what if the ink in my pen runs dry? So what if my pencil snaps? I always claw my way back into the game. I have plenty in reserve. You claim I sucked the poison up into my pen? That's wild speculation, nothing more. If you thought you could bring down a fine upstanding citizen with a trick like that, think again.
Looks as though it's going to take one final decisive blow to finish this matter. As I see it, the situation is now very simple. It rests upon whether or not this witness did indeed steal the poison on the day in question. Therefore, it all depends upon whether or not the defense can prove that he did with evidence.
No such evidence could possibly exist.
Don't we have the region? Minamino-san, this is how our modern justice system works.
What?
In the courtroom, evidence is everything. Something you would do well to remember.
Because we are well past the point of speculation at this stage, I assure you. Very well then. I call upon the defense to present the aforementioned evidence. This is it then. This will be the final piece in the puzzle. The defense can prove by means of this item that it was the witness's pen that was used to steal the poison. The Regent.
Take that!
Counsel, what is that bottle? This bottle contains the unique chemical reagent that can identify the poison in question.
Yeah.
Yes, that poison is an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids developed by my colleagues and I. It would be impossible to detect traces of it by any other method. Or, from another perspective, simply with this chemical reagent, anybody at all could check for traces of the poison.
A reagent? Reagent? What?
One drop of the contents of this bad boy on the tip of the fountain pen, Minamimo-san, is all we'll take to solve this case beyond all reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
No, you can't. I won't.
Your crimes are bad enough, but at least know when to admit defeat.
Your Excellency, the defense requests permission to carry out the test on this fountain pen at once. Whoa.
This isn't my fault. The Empire drove me to this, trying to hold its head high as a civilized nation, but I took a Mars and I bet I taught fast and all the money just raised a little.
Damn.
Susato, with me! I'm there.
Whoa, oh my god. Holy shit.
Did I do it right? That was a Susato takedown, wasn't it? Not quite. That was a Ryotaro takedown.
Incredible. The instant the first drop of the reagent touched the nib of the fountain pen, it was clear to everyone present.
When I saw it there in the lab, the poison, the devil got hold of me and decided to do it on a whim. Excused myself and emptied all the ink down the sink in the bathroom, washing the reservoir out carefully.
And then you waited for an opportunity to suck up some of the poison, didn't you? Into your fountain pen.
Yes, that's right.
Answer me one thing, Minamimo-san. Why did you steal it? For what purpose?
Isn't it obvious? To find out what it was made of and expose it in an article. I mean, it was a secret project after all. Too juicy for a journal like me to pass up. And why did the English woman end up dead?
I went into that hut intending to quiz her on the situation, that's all, as a reporter. A known killer enjoying full freedom, evading justice by leaving the country. I told her what I thought about it.
And she just laughed in my face.
Oh, what's this? A Far Eastern caveman purporting to practice journalism? Really, you must learn the difference between reporting and listening at doorways, you ignorant plebeian.
What did you call me?
This country with its pretensions to a justice system, to a free press, it's really very depressing. You see our superior ways in the West, but you lack the mental capacity to emulate them. Get out of here, you both. Get out and crawl back into the cave you came from.
That's what I remembered. Not the deadly poison I happened to have in my pen at the time.
What a terrible tale. Yeah, I don't know. That wouldn't drive me to want to kill somebody, just being called names. I don't know, maybe I'm built different. The terrible lack of self-control I fear from this guy.
In my head, I knew I shouldn't just get out of there as quickly as possible, but I couldn't. I knew I should just get out of there as quickly as possible, but I couldn't. I couldn't let her get away with what she'd done, but she clearly had no remorse at all. Suppose it was my journo spirit, getting all fired up. I'd like to ask you something. Yes. Can we turn off the flashing? Oh, they're already off. So why is the screen flashing? Yes. I often talk about justice. But surely as a journalist, you could have used other means to deliver the justice you sought. There's no justice in the press. Sorry? After that trial 9 months ago, I kept digging and digging to find out what had happened in that courtroom. And finally, I discovered the truth. It was a cover-up, that's what it was. Cover-up? What do you mean?
Would remind you of your position, witness. Be careful of what you say.
Oh, come on. Doesn't it strike you as strange? Suddenly not allowed to convict a foreign national? Consular jurisdiction should never have come to it. Yet that puffed-up Englishwoman was going to sail away into the sunset, a free woman. The only possible explanation is that behind the scenes, some deal had gone down between Britain and Japan.
What's up, Josh? Mina Mimo is kind of, he is. I was saying that before. He's pretty fine. Gotta be one of the hottest killers in this series.
What sort of deal? I'd done my research, dug up all the dirt. It was all ready to be published. Do you know what happened? The editor just tore the article up. He tore that thing up.
He came under pressure from the government, you mean?
Our government is going to let criminals walk free. They're going to crush the free press. And what choice do I have but to see that justice is done myself? Let's not forget, Minamimo-san, that you committed murder yourself, and you tried to lay the blame at the defendant's door. I'm sorry, but you're no better than Giselle Brett. What?
Yeah, you tried to, honestly, even if I fucking hate Giselle Brett and thinks that she should die, you still pinned the crime on an innocent minor.
Well, truth is, you have no right to talk about justice at all. Right. I suppose.
Fuck you. It would appear that we have reached a conclusion in this trial at last. Counsel for the defense, Ryutaro Naruhodo.
Oh. Yes. Sorry, Your Excellency. Just musing in a manly way here.
It's almost unbelievable that this is your first experience of the Supreme Court. It was an excellent performance. In truth, it very much reminded me of your cousin's exploits.
Oh, Naruhodo-san. Ryunosuke, you mean?
Yes, that one. The way he handled the trial 9 months ago and the way you handled this one, it gives me hope that we are genuinely entering a new era of justice in this land. A new era.
It's very flattering, Your Excellency.
Hearing the defense you put forward today made me feel most keenly. I must divorce my wife. Also, that the future of our justice system will be forged by you and your contemporaries.
Thank you.
So, Prosecutor Auchi, do you have any final thoughts? What the fuck? Prosecutor Ouchie?
Takasuchi of the Ouchie clan have been bested by a callow youth not once now, but twice. I must kill myself. If there was any shred of my former self left, it is withered and died here today.
Gosh, journey to cultural enlightenment sure took a while, didn't it?
Silence! Rather than living on in shame,
You gonna shave his hair?
I will end it all now with this blade. For that is the true path of Ouchieism. Ouchieism?
Seems a little dramatic. One hopes that's the way in which he'll be modeling himself after the witness.
Spring of my topknot, the time is right for farewell. Hope is lost forever.
Takasuchi, he just stabs himself in the head. Oh. It's rest in peace. Damn, everybody's praying for him. Damn, I'm kind of sad. I think that's the last time that we'll ever see that character. Now, in regard to the defendant, Ray Membami-san, for those who don't know, who have not played Ace Attorney, he's like the tutorial lawyer, right? So he's at the beginning of like every game. In regards to the defendant, Ray Membami-san.
Yes, Your Excellency.
I've reached my final verdict. I hereby find you not guilty. Yeah, the Sakura petals. Now we want our thirst trap antagonist. True. I don't know if we're gonna get a different one this game. I mean, we usually do. Court is adjourned. There's still so much I don't know about our boy. August 13th, 2:38 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Such a weird word for me. Defendant's antechamber 3. It's over. My heart is still pounding in my chest, though. That's all I can do just to stay standing. Lawyers have such great responsibility, such a great burden to bear. Don't they, Naruhodo-san? What? I'm not here. Susato!
Thank you so much. You were so dashing in there.
Ray and Father. Yeah, I'm here. Should I give you lesbians a moment?
Honestly, I'm so touched by everything you've... Oh no, I think I'm going to cry.
It wasn't easy, but together we made it. I was on the verge of tears at the end, too.
The only reason I'm still here is because of you.
Oh no, I can't take all the credit. It took courage to tell the truth in there. You did wonderfully, Ray. So I would have say that the congratulations belong to you. I mean, you're the one that's not going to be spending life in prison.
Chisato, don't be so standoffish.
Sorry?
We're friends, equals, and the trial's over, so no more of this formal super humility nonsense. I want to make out with you behind this court. It's time to celebrate with swagger, to throw caution to the wind.
Tossed into the wind? I'm the great defense lawyer, Ryotaro Naruhodo. I'm taking you out to a milk bar tomorrow. Or something. Right, I see. I'll, think about it, Ray. I really want to live out this fantasy that you're a guy. At any rate, we really knocked the wind out of that horrid man, and it felt so good. It's a lot of dairy? Yeah, I've never heard of a milk bar. Yes, it was satisfying. It really was. Isn't there anybody else we could throw together? Don't look at me! I hope you're not looking at me, Ray. You know, the man who was revealed at the end of last game to be chronically ill.
Oh, my goodness. No, of course not. Of course not.
Ah, there it is at last. Ray's lovely smile. God, she's so beautiful. You fought for your friend to the very last. As your father, I'm extremely proud of you. Defense attorney Ryotaro Naruhodo.
Thank you, but I couldn't have done it without your help.
Anyway, it's time to bid farewell to Ryotaro. I think. I shall miss him in a way, but it's back to Susato Mikotawa now. Oh.
So I'll never see him again then? What a terrible chance.
Oh my god, she really... Bro. It's okay, you still got me. I guess she wants a butch. She wants a stud, bro. What is happening?
Soseki-san and Inspector Hosonaga. I do hope you've been keeping well.
Is that really you?
Yes, I had to change my appearance for, well, obvious reasons, I hope. But it's me. Sato Mikotawa.
I don't... So dashing, so divine. No. Doubly dashing, yes, and devilishly divine. Just look at you. I had no idea, Miss Susato-san, Esquiress, that you were locum student Naruhodo-san's Esquire's cousin. Astonishingly astounding ace attorney. He said the name.
Poor Soseki-san, so confused. I still remember the first time I ever met him. He was in a prison cell in London. An extraordinary conundrum it was that the unwitting student from Japan found himself embroiled in. But after Naruhodo-san's skillful defense at the Old Bailey, Soseki-san was free to return to Japan.
My mustache tastes like cucumbers.
And now he seems to have earned himself great fame as an author.
I'm stunned. That's a truly impressive disguise. Even I had no idea, and I'm a chief inspector at the police bureau, who came up with Mr. Turtle, no less. Not sure you should be admitting to that, Inspector. Amazing. You're a woman of many faces, I see.
Just two, really. And this was a once-in-a-lifetime event, I hope. Oh, I'm not a patch on you, though, Inspector.
Well, I am a professional, of course.
I do worry about Inspector Hosonaga sometimes, I really do. 9 months ago when he appeared here at the Supreme Court to testify. Wait, he is Ray? No, Ray is Ray. He's just a undercover agent. He's undercover disguised as the head waiter of a restaurant. And then on the steamship to Great Britain, of course, disguised as a sailor to keep us safe on the journey. And he kind of just, like, disappeared for 3 chapters. But that didn't help you, did it, Kazuma-sama?
From my perspective, I have to admit that I have mixed feelings about all this. I mean, now the truth has been lost forever. What do you mean? I'm talking about the murder that the Englishwoman committed at the end of last year. Ah, yes. It was an English doctor she killed, as I understand it. Dr. John H. Wilson, yes. The man I invited to Japan personally. The mystery is, why did she kill him? And now that the culprit herself is dead, we'll probably never know the answer, or at least for not another 4 chapters. On the voyage to Great Britain, we had a most unexpected encounter. Mr. Sherlock Holmes, the great detective. Oh great. Who could forget? Yes, I remember Mr. Sholmes well, of course. That twink. Oh, my arch nemesis. And I squirt my nose. I'm getting nasally. How lightly you utter his name. Well, according to the stories published about him in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, the detective once had a partner who helped him solve crimes, a best friend. And that man was an exceptional... Oh, okay, why are you here? And that man was an exceptional doctor of medicine by the name of John H. Wilson.
What?
You're Dr. Wilson? Just can't believe that it's a coincidence.
I think that the English doctor of medicine killed here in Japan 9 months ago must have been the friend and partner of Mr. Schultz. That's really true. And the poor girl won't ever see her beloved father again. As you know, I traveled to Great Britain once myself to study. It was around the time you were born. Yes, grandmother told me about it. Oh, is that the little girl's at? Yeah. On returning to Japan, I took up my professorship at the Imperial Yume University, but I also serve another role as an advisor to the government on diplomatic affairs. Yes, I was aware of that as well. In that case, I'm sure you understand that there are some confidential matters I cannot divulge to you. Could you just tell me one thing? Why did you summon me back to Japan? Been 2 months now since I returned. When I left England, it was because an urgent telegram had arrived from Japan. It said that you'd collapsed with a high fever and you were growing weaker by the day.
What? Where did that news come from?
That's what I'd like to know. Because after that long sea voyage, I found you in fine health, Father. Is there something in Great Britain that you perceived might inconvenience me in some way or harm me? It's really the only explanation I can think of. Okay, so... Okay, I'm glad that they touched up on that, because I was very confused to see this man just, like, right as rain. They made a whole spectacle out of it last chapter, like, yeah, my dad's gonna die, he's gonna die, he's gonna die. And then, you know, beginning of this chapter, he's like, oh, I'm helping you. Yeah. Like, what do you mean? I thought you were dying. Dear me, do you reserve your most cutting glares for your father, Susato? He was healed by aliens on his flight back. I'm sorry, my dear. Let me go. Mimo-san.
So one throw wasn't enough for you. I got one last thing to say before they take me away, Professor. I know the truth. I know you had a hand in what went on.
Oh, shit.
That visiting student's fate.
Visiting student? Giselle Brett, you mean?
No, not her. Student of law who left for Great Britain 8 months ago.
What? Student of law? He must mean...
Kazuma-sama? What are you talking about? What does any of this have to do with Kazuma-sama?
Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. You don't know that the guy never made it to England, that he died on that steamship, that he'll never...
Ah!
Oh my god, Judge. I've never seen the judges in this game standing, except for, I guess, in investigations. But I've never seen the judge have like a full model. Doomed Yaoi? Yeah, that's our boyfriend. Our dead boyfriend. Well, I didn't expect to find him in here. What were you officers playing at? Terribly sorry, Your Excellency. Did that reporter knew something? Yeah, I wasn't aware that, like, nobody in Japan knew that he died, though. That's a bit suspect. This judge stopped him from talking about it. What? I think the judge is... I don't think the judge is in on it. I think the judge is just trying to maintain peace in the court. Which he did by knocking him on his ass. I was coming in to tell you that the rickshaw had arrived, Eugen, and it's a good job I came by. Yes, thank you for dealing with him. I'll be there shortly. Oh, Your Excellency. The trial's over. I'm not Your Excellency anymore. Merely your father's friend, Seishiro Jigoku. Oh. Merely your father's friend. You can call me Sean. And that's S-E-A-N, by the way. Sean. And may I say that since I saw you last, you seem to have taken on a more dashing appearance. Susato, oh shit. Huh? Did you know all along from the start of the trial? I know fish when I see one. A judge sees everything, Susato. I couldn't let you take the risk. If Seishiro here hadn't known and then he'd recognize you, they were our college roommates. So I had a word on his ear beforehand, as an old friend. So Seishiro, shall we? Yes, having ruled on that case, we now have various diplomatic issues to address. Yes, diplomatic. Before you go, Father. Sorry, my dear. We shall have to return to our earlier conversation on a later date. Well done again, both of you. You did admirably.
Oh, thank you very much.
What did you think of my Seishiro sling, eh? It's been a while since I sent a man flying like that. Ha 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 ha. Never could Father be hiding from me. About Giselle Brandt, about Dr. Wilson. Now it seems, according to the reporter, about Kazuma-sama. I'm going to have to bring this up with Father sometime. When nobody else is around. Oh, Judicial Assistant Mikotama-san Esquiris, could I have a word? Oh, yes, of course, Seki-san. What is it? I think perhaps it could be fate that we're meeting again like this now. Especially when you're in this very dashing, masculine attire. You see, there's something I need to tell you. Oh? I believe that it may be related to the reason why your father summoned you back from England. Huh? This I have to hear. Please, Soseki-san. Please, Soseki-san, tell me at once. I will! As you know, my time in England was terrible. Cursed, I have no doubt. I've been seeing a therapist for many months now. And to no avail, I'm hyped up on antidepressants. Such awful things I was embroiled in. Thank goodness locum student Naruhodo-san Esquire stepped in. After he secured my freedom, I couldn't wait to get on a ship back here to my homeland. I've been chewing on my mustache ever since. My bloodstream is just... it's just now filled with mustache hair. Having arrived in Japan, I submitted a report about my experiences to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The next thing I knew, I had a visitor. It was your father, Professor Mikotaba.
He wanted to ask me all sorts of things about my report.
My father?
He seemed to be especially taken with a particular part of the report. Anyway, he left eventually, having thoroughly quizzed me. But it was the very next day that he sent the telegram to you asking you to return to Japan.
What was it then? The particular part my father was interested in.
I can't tell you. I don't really know exactly. But do you remember them? Those 2 terrible cases I was caught up in?
Of course, I could never forget. Your father seemed to concern
himself mainly with the second case.
Second one? You mean the one Mr. Sholmes forbade any of us to talk about in public?
Shh! Don't say it!
Which is why the only case involving you that any member of the public is aware of is the first.
Well, I don't care. I don't have to listen to what that dastardly detective says. Anyway, the point is, seems that case somehow holds the key to all these curious unanswered questions. That horrific, hideous, heinous case. Case of the haunted lodgings.
That case somehow caused my father to summon me urgently back to Japan? I thought that whole business was over, but it seems I was wrong. Perhaps that was only the start. Perhaps the story is not yet told. Oh, okay. Is this a case that we haven't done yet?
So, the mystery of that English woman's death is solved, thank goodness. And having stood in the Supreme Court now, I think I can comprehend a little better. How you must be feeling as you fight for people's freedom in a foreign land, Naruhodo-san. But actually, I'm writing to you today because of another matter. I met Soseki-san and we talked about that second case he was involved in. Father has said nothing to me, but I feel certain of it. That case holds the key to some great unsolved mystery. My notes on the case should still be in the office, tucked away at the back of the shelves on the left. Perhaps you might like to look over them again. Today, for the first time this year, it feels as though summer has arrived. The sky is a brilliant blue. It makes
It's
me
acting
long
interesting.
to see you again. Yours, Susato.
There it is. The end of the first case. Series will randomly include it. I wish they just voiced the whole thing. Capcom can definitely afford it. Well, I'm kind of glad that they don't, so that I can voice it. The Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night. One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road. As the victim lay at death's door, the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved. But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student
Pokemon Company? Yeah, for real.
Then in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight,
I'll never forget that
the stillness of that very night.
that video of Pierce singing.
I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day.
And Sword and
The
Shield.
Department of Death, the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas. Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene,
What is
So
Anemo?
it proved to be the overture that announced the rising of the curtain on a most tragic play.
My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a fledgling lawyer just starting out my journey. 6 months ago, I arrived at a visiting student law. As a visiting student of law, having made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. See, is this another Pokemon? Like? Made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world-famous detective. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal counsel. Lumon, Genshin, and Palworld had a baby. Is this the one that Hoyoverse is working on? Oh, Paw Print Studio. We'll see. We might get another lawsuit. The creatures look original though. That was my biggest critique of Palworld, was the fact that all their creatures just looked like Pokemon that were like jumbled together and traced over. But Palworld fans will tell you that's you're making that shit up, bro. It's like, bro, look at them. You can just battle with them. You can twine with them and play your Anemo. Interesting. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultancy of sorts. I successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey. And by a number, I mean 3. Since a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom. In truth, I lost my right to return. That epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale which was now about to awaken from slumber, thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. Must be nearly time for breakfast. I better go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite. He better be butt naked in a pink apron, cooking me up some food. Say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. "30th of August, 7:28 a.m. Sholmes' suite."
Ah, Runo, good. I was just about to call up to you. The bacon's ready.
Morning, Iris. Smells delicious as usual. Before we eat, though, I have some news. Surprise this morning. Shh! Not another word, Mr. Naruhodo. This could be just the abstruse thing from my pre-breakfast stagnation repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. Hi, Yuri. Morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yeah. Whoa. Yes, I see. So that's it. The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again. My very own Prisma brother, Yuri, is here. What are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruhodo, you have this very morning met with a surprise. Well, is that not the case? One of the crew? Not a crew. The crew is y'all. One of my brothers. Really, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button of your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning. Can I talk now? But of course, though I don't look for admiration, you understand. My hair always looks like this. It's been this way since I first met you. Just jerking it, leaving off. Oh, it has? And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. By you. Damn, they were getting rough. Not in front of Iris.
Really pulled your button off? I knew he was a fruit.
Ah, yes, I recall the incident now. It was after supper, was it not? As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing notes of a haunting tune. But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why did it have to happen? Why? Little wonder then that in my vexation I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Excuse me. Well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket. It's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, one presumes. Helpful. What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring.
But Hurley, Bruno said it when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning.
Ha 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 ha. Well, that really is a surprise. I was not listening. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire. Famous consulting detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name.
Alright then, enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it goes cold. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try too. My latest special blend.
And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion. Truly exceptional young girl who's the author of a highly successful serialization here in London.
The hearts aren't my hair, they just grow, kind of like berries.
Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is published in Rance magazine. So, Mr. Naruto, won't you put us out of our misery? What surprised you this fine morning? Well, it was the fact that I woke up and you were sleeping naked right next to me. And also, I received a letter from Japan.
What, from Susie, you mean? Was it really?
That's right. And she had some rather startling news, in fact. Intriguing indeed. You must tell us all about it over breakfast.
Yes, what fun.
Susato's letter. This is the letter that arrived from Japan this morning. International Post.
Oh, how lovely. Look at Susie's beautiful writing. I wish I could read it.
But I can't. And how is your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? It's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court and won a case.
Ah, really? Oh, isn't she wonderful?
A cut above your good self, my dear fellow. I've won cases too, you know. Apparently, Mr. Natsume appeared in this trial as a witness. Natsume. No, I don't recall that name. Of course you do. We helped that man twice. You know, in those two cases that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago. Ah, the mustache twitchy man with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache.
You didn't have two mustaches, Hurley.
Yes, who could forget those two cases? Those two cases that definitely happened. They've made a very deep impression on me. Right.
Although I must confess, the details are a little hazy now. Somewhat feline eyes. A very deep impression they made on you, clearly. So, what was this startling news penned by Miss Susato? Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes? Nope. Ah, yes, it's very interesting, you know. There were lodgings, and they were, how would you say, haunted. That's what I just said. Yes, it was a hotel that was occupied by spectral activity. Now you're just saying what I just said, but longer. I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. He's totally forgotten them. Anyway, in her letter, Susato asks that we read over her case notes again and investigate further. Though it took place half a year ago, for what purpose? It's something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. It suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly. A yaoi with a ghost once. Sounds hot. Might have something to do with the case of the haunted lodgings. Oh? On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Miss Susato's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotaba, prompting him to send that telegram.
Oh, that case, yes. It was very strange, wasn't it?
Yes.
I had compiled the whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication, too. But then Hurley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. That story must not be published, you said. Very mysteriously as well.
Really? I said that? Are you sure? You perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes? About why Miss Susato was suddenly told 4 mouths ago. I think that's a typo. 4 mouths ago that she had returned to Japan? I love playing visual novels and like, you know, having dyslexia and I read something and I'm like, oh, I misread it, dyslexia, and then I read and I read over again and it's like, wait, it's real? 4 mouths ago, that's like 2 hours. Oh, that's 1 mouth for me, baby.
Been 4 months now since we waved Susie off at Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it?
Wait, huh?
The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan.
Indeed it was, due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right, telling her to return urgently. Yes, because her father had passed away. No. It just said he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead. I just love how... like, confidently wrong he is. Yes, he died. No. But according to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse.
A ruse? A crimson ruse?
So Susie's daddy lied to her that she'd make the voyage back, so that she'd make the voyage back home?
Why would he do that?
I have to admit, I have absolutely no idea. She believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. I guess we're gonna be looking into that. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that, I wonder what Miss Susato's father is hiding.
Hurley, do you know what it's all about?
Ah, well, who can say? What? But you said... Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today. A stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if it were quite at leisure. So, man the fort in my absence, won't you, Iris?
I will, Hurley. Don't worry. See you later. Have fun on your gay hookups. He has 3, by the way.
3? He scuttled off rather quickly there.
Yeah, he does this a lot.
Wait, didn't we hook up yesterday?
You should probably get tested.
I think perhaps Professor Mikotaba isn't the only person hiding something there. What's up, Steph? Seki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. I, of all people, Mr. Sholmes.
Aha! I found them at last.
Iris, are they...
The notes about the case? That's right. Susie and I compiled them together. The case of the haunted lodgings. Do you want to read them, Muriel?
Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of this case. Perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light.
That's the spirit.
Doing good. How are you? And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again. So this happened... This happened while... Susato was still, like, here? I thought we were going, like, back to back to back with cases. How did we miss one? Everything from what happened to our investigation and that fierce battle in court that followed. Reliving every detail. Just need to find a clue. I have all the time in the world. Because, of course, I'm unemployed. I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. Is this... I'm confused. Is this the case? Why? This, like, I don't understand. Guess we're gonna find out. It was 6 months ago, a mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement of Briar Road with a knife in her back. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. I remember, I fucking hated that case. The fog was thick and nobody saw her attack her, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time. Real little sleep. I went to bed at 2 a.m., woke up at 2:30 a.m., then Friday at 0 sleep. Oh damn, should probably get some sleep. That man was Suseki-san. The man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susato-san and I decided to represent Suseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial of so many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. Joyful, joyous, jubilant jubilation! It's the man's reaction after the trial, but his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Is he a who? I don't know. That's just the voice I gave him. Hurry to Bars at once. So Susato-san and I summoned a handsome. Was he hitting the fairy godparents like Mr. Crocker? I feel like that's just his thing. I don't know. He's just like hitting JoJo's poses. So Susato-san and I summoned a handsome, and headed immediately to the hospital. Yeah, we got Sholmes on all fours and then rid him like a camel. 21st of February, 5:30 a.m. Damn, this is pretty bright for 5:30 a.m. St. Bartholomew's Hospital, Recovery Ward. There you are at last. There's a little mouse on my shoulder. Like a camel. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. I think not. Oh. You're late. What on earth took you so long? Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes. It's a 20-minute ride to the capital. That's right, and it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I have been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. Let's just say, I'm into somnophilia. Okay. And feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been roused at such an hour, I sent one to you. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. Where? Look on the floor. The rat? Oh, it's her. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. Please tell me this isn't going to be a continuation of the worst case that has ever existed. So that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with the knife in her back. Her name is... yes, here we are, Miss Green. Eek! A mouse, Mr. Naruto, an enormous mouse. Vermin in a hospital? That doesn't seem the best. But it looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump. Oh, are we talking about the rat? I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you were thinking. Good morning. Hello, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Oh no, was it your knife that... Are you the man that... No, I'm a lawyer. And I'm Susato Mikotama. Pleased to meet you. And to the rat, I would say, cheese to meet you. Squeak, squeak! Oh no, was it your knife then? Are you the one... No, I assure you, I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. Which would debar me from stabbing someone, I guess. We heard that you regained consciousness and wanted to come to give you our best wishes. Best wishes? For me? Thank you. I'm Olive Green. I'm an artist. An artist, not the other. I'm an artist. That's me. I'm the artist. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist. Well, what I really mean is, I desperately want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back. Damn, that's a little harsh. I don't think that's related, actually. Gosh, this young woman really seems terrible. This young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down. I know a thing about bending over backwards. Okay, take a seat. Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. About the incident. Suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green.
It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Afraid you've been comatose all that time.
That's not, I don't think that's true though. I feel like there's a little bit of, I don't know. This maybe I just really hated this case when I played it. But I thought that she woke up like right at the end of the court session. The case has been solved, hasn't it? Well, I've been here in a hospital, I mean. Indeed it has, my dear madam, spectacularly, by none other than I, Sherlock Sholmes.
Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work in court that solved the case.
Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green? Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming in to fill me in shortly. I know a thing about being filled in. Oh.
Shut up!
I see. Me coming round seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. It was selfish of me.
Oh no. We're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. Really, we are.
I should have died. The first victim in Ace Attorney history to not die. Really lowers the stakes, don't you think? With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh no, I couldn't possibly claim that. A fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really. At the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts.
Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts. Great Britain is such a wonderful country. Good luck. Might as well get a communications degree.
I'm kidding. Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts?
Oh no, actually. I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road.
I see. Well, very interesting.
Oh no, is it?
Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here. And Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton Town Centre. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means. I'm saying this bitch got money, including the maleficent Mr. Mustache. Inferior means, I suppose Soseki-san does fit the bill. It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. That's all. What's this? She suddenly clammed up.
Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself prying into a young maiden's private affairs.
Ha 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 ha. Oh dear me, do forgive me.
If you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things.
I know a thing or two about discharge. Oh yes, of course. We won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. Must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings. She would have brought directly here. Come on, man. She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though.
I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her.
Alright then, let's see what's inside. A change of clothes, no doubt, and...
No, Mr. Naruhodo, you must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings.
She seems chill with it. With her very tiny hands. The young maiden might have chocolates or biscuits or caramel. Oh my god. Lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? You think it's safe to keep them like that?
If you were a patient here, I feel you'd take some medicine by mistake while you were half asleep.
That is a worry. Excuse me. Or at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy looking one.
Oh, I've no doubt you've managed to unlock that somehow while you were half asleep as well.
There are limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Mr. Sato. Rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it? Damn.
I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruto. It's an artist mannequin, I believe, used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses.
Did she get it custom modeled to look like her? Really? It's not exactly what you'd call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it?
No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before.
Dude, I would love to get like one of those posable action figures, but it's just me. Blueberries are 12 euros now. Damn. I'd pose him into all sorts of smutty situations. Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, is it pounds? I don't fucking know. The only pounds I'm about to do are to Sherlock Holmes when I'm pounding that bussy in the next room over.
If you want to draw a full-figured person,
It's the right tool for the job. Why are they so expensive? Are you asking? I don't know. Supply and demand, issues with agriculture. So that's what put the cracks in the wall of the hospital. Oh, true. You want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. A woman of what did I see on Twitter recently? Weight gifted. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Ah, a penis cut. Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. Haven't we seen him before? Looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. And he's got a ring on his finger. Damn, he's clapping Miss Green's cheeks, bro. It's going. Wait, I don't think the mic is catching that. Hold on. He's going. You know, those twinks hung like horses. And he's got a brush, so maybe they're artists together. An artist couple. Damn, he be getting her to pose naked and shit. Painting her. You know they go crazy. Is that a painting of her in the background? Yeah, it looks a bit like an ice cream, unfortunately. So, I don't know. It's to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think? Artists, ex-artists go crazy. I mean, we're both artists, Jerry. What does that mean?
My, Mr. Naruto, I didn't know you had a sense for the matters of the heart.
Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. Is there a Mr. Narrow Fodder here? Mr. Narrow Fodder! Narrow fodder now. Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but this is for you. The C is like a little hand. It's a message from Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg. Girl. You know, I wonder if someone is born into this world and they get a name like this, and then they're like, yeah, I'm definitely eventually gonna be a killer in a killer in an Ace Attorney game. We lasted all but about an hour and a half. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Reach so bad that it crashed the stream. I'm here. Bro, what the fuck is going on? The fuck is going on? Alright, see you, Steph. Good luck. What the fuck is going on? My dick's falling off. Mr. Natsume? Oh, right, okay. What is this guy just like? This guy can't get Japanese names right. Mr. Natsume sent a message to me. Oh my god! Oh my god! This was not meant for me. He just opens it up and it's just like a picture of him with his bush out, like laying on the bed. He's like, took my first picture. They call it a nude. Hope you like it, babe. Oh my god, I think this was not supposed to be for me. Bruh. Ooh, I do not have the patience for this today. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. You're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it, Sally. This is Sally's fault. I'm blaming it on Sally. What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? What are you waiting for? Let me see that. Oh. Well, this is most unexpected. Something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? He says. Have you not seen this note? No, how could I have? Seeing that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls, a case of murder, no less. We must depart at once. Let's leave this fat old lady to rot in her bed.
I heard that.
Murder. Call a cab. Time is of the essence. But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did. That will be entirely convenient. Convenient? What do you mean? It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Mustache's lodgings. Wait, what? I'll hear of
fiacre? What the fuck is this word? What's up, Rui? Hola. ¿Cómo estás? It was once yesterday. It was only, oh my god. Massacre my spleen. It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court and we were dispelling doubts about its innocence. Why I chose to do a visual novel game today of all. Oh my fucking god, bro. What the fuck is going on? It's 2:41. Hold on. I'm gonna check my router real quick. Sally is standing by the router and I'm plugging it randomly. Yeah, for real. Yes, AM. I forgot you're in Japan right now. Yeah, no, for real. She is. What does this mean? So, okay. I'm about to drink the rest of my Sprite. What does this mean? Dirty South mine blowing dirty South bread? What the fuck does that mean? Can someone explain? What the fuck does that mean? Whenever somebody calls Georgia the dirty South, it feels so weird. I don't know if I like it. Bread is money, right? Yeah, are we blowing money? Dirty South mentality is spending money, I guess. People call Georgia the dirty South. Yeah. Like, I guess it's like a... I don't know. I don't know if it's just Georgia. The dirty South. I don't know. Let's see what Google says. Dirty South. Yeah, it's like a... Yeah, it's like a rap. It's like a rap thing. Louisiana? What you got against Louisiana? If the if the fucking internet keeps crashing, I'm gonna kill myself. AT&T. My boyfriend deadass woke up while I was finishing up with my friends. Babe, come play Overwatch with me. Oh my god. Welcome back. I'm gonna sue eBay AT&T, bro. Okay, I am gonna restart stream real quick because sometimes that fixes this. Stay put. I will be right back.